Happy birthday, City Sprouts.
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 Happy birthday to City Sprouts.
Happy birthday, City Sprout.
Happy birthday, City Sprouts.
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 I'm very thankful for you guys.
Thank you for giving me a garden.
Happy birthday, City Sprouts, and thank you so much for inspiring me to grow this.
Thank you, City Sprouts, for helping me grow joy, wonder, and confidence in my community.
And I'm just very lucky that you guys could transition to real life to virtual. And it still worked out like normal City Sprouts.
Wow, 20 years of City Sprouts. Happy birthday.
Thank you for teaching me about science and nature.
We love you and all the wonderful children that you teach all about gardening and growing food.
I taught my family everything I learned about gardening from City Sprouts.
And then we made a vegetable garden at home.
Thank you for teaching kids how to garden.
Thanks for teaching us. We learned a lot this summer.
Thank you for all the hands-on learning, teaching, and eating.
We love you, City Sprouts.
I just want to say happy birthday. It's a pretty big achievement to be 20. All those gardens, all those kids, all that experience is going to last for many, many more years than 20.
And I hope there'll be many, many more so you can keep bringing gardens to so many students and their families. My very, very best wishes.
Happy birthday, City Sprouts.
I said just pretty sprouts again.
Welcome to City Sprouts 20th anniversary. I am Jane Hershey, Executive Director and founder of City Sprouts.
And I am Uche Amechi. I am a new board member. I am on the governance committee. I'm also a lecturer at the Harvard Graduate School of Education, and I work in the Cambridge Public Schools and do leadership work in the greater Boston area.
The City Sprouts mission is to cultivate wonder for all children with hands-on learning through the urban garden. Since 2001, City Sprouts has been opening the door to science education for school children in Boston and Cambridge Public Schools.
Thank you, Jane. So science equity and access to nature. Science equity is so essential. We need diverse perspectives in the research lab, the engineering lab, the boardroom. The more we have diverse perspectives in there, the better quality we have of the products that come out, and just the more fair society we have. And then access to nature, another core pillar of City Sprouts work. So this connection to and enjoyment, so this personal connection and stewardship of nature that the students feel, I mean, this can lead them to get excited about STEM. Both STEM is something that they can do themselves, just STEM is something that they're interested. And then there's also this enjoyment and mental health, the inspiration and learning part, connection to science, but also just enjoying nature in their backyards, at the parks. It's so important. This evening, we're going to hear from the folks that have made City Sprouts such an amazing organization. So first, we're going to have a slideshow of City Sprouts, showing us how City Sprouts has developed over the last 20 years. Love the video. That was an amazing video. It's always great to see such support and such joy in the garden. So Jane, can you tell us a little bit about how CitySprouts got started? Like, how did this amazing thing get off the ground?
Great question. Well, 20 years ago, the anniversary that we're celebrating tonight, I was one of several parents, teachers, a school principal, Dr. Joe Petner at the Haggerty School. And we really wanted to create a space in public schools for children to have experiential learning outside, and a garden was a perfect place to do that. And we wanted that to happen, not just for the kids who were lucky enough to have a parent volunteer to help a teacher make that happen, but something that every child in every classroom could experience ongoing, where they could really trust that they could grow up with a garden and learning experientially in the garden. We knew how much a garden teaches kids, not just about the natural world and the science underlying the natural world, but it's a place to learn language. It's a place to practice the math skills that you're doing. It's a place to make friends. It's a place to problem solve. It's just such a rich learning environment.
And it's so important, especially in the post-pandemic world where we find ourselves, where there's been so much learning loss. So, more about CitySprouts. Up until the 5th grade, CitySprouts is an in-school program. Why don't we hear about the School Partnership Program in Boston from Dr. Casilius, Superintendent of Boston Public Schools.
Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be part of CitySprouts' 20-year celebration. This is an amazing milestone, and I'd like to congratulate the entire program for its hard work and commitment to science education. I'd also like to thank your partnership with BPS. Currently, our students in 8 BPS elementary and middle schools are getting hands-on science education through schoolyard learning gardens. The need for this type of learning and education is higher than ever, as our future depends on it. It is critical that we recognize the necessity of such programs so that one day our students can lead a shift in this nation, and even around the world, prioritizing and spending more time caring for our environment and connecting to nature. This program complements and enhances science education and ensures that every BPS student in the program has an opportunity to build critical thinking skills and environmental literacy. BPS is focused on equitable learning and making certain that every student receives the best education. And I want to emphasize how important equity in science education specifically is for our students. CitySprouts' mission to cultivate wonder for all children with hands-on learning through urban gardening ties perfectly with our mission to develop our students to be knowledgeable, productive members of a global society through education that promotes cultural awareness, skillful use of information, personal renewal, and both individual and community pathfinding. I know that this past year has been especially difficult to navigate, but BPS's partnership with CitySprouts has remained robust. The CitySprouts educator team pivoted to remote lessons and garden videos, shared videos with teachers in Google Classrooms, and directly with BPS families at home. I thank you for your dedication to science, but most importantly, to our students' education and ensuring that this kind of learning continues in even such uncertain times. CitySprouts is just such a great key partner, helping us to demonstrate to our students that the city is a real classroom. Thank you for supporting Boston Public School students, and congratulations again, and I look forward to celebrating more milestones with CitySprouts.
My name is Karen Worth, and I am delighted to be able to say a few words about CitySprouts for this really important and joyous occasion. When children learn in the garden, they develop a whole set of knowledge and skills and attitudes that are critical to their lives and to their understanding of the world around them. These are skills of science, the practices of science. These are concepts of living things and the nature of the environment. One of the things that I have been doing lately with CitySprouts, which has been in some funny way a kind of silver lining to the COVID situation, is work on science units to be used by the garden educators with the children. These units are particularly important because what they do is they make a much closer link between what children do in the garden and what they are doing in their regular classrooms in the more formal science program. Bringing these two things together brings the teachers and the garden educators together more closely, and it makes the work of the children outdoors feel much more integrated and part of their full school day. Because of the pandemic, which has left many of our children indoors in front of screens, the outdoors has a healing quality to it. Children who are outdoors, who can be with other children, who can explore and investigate, are healing in a way from the deprivations that they have inflicted upon them really by the virus. So CitySprouts is providing that opportunity, a critical one.
My name is Allie Comet, and I'm a garden educator with CitySprouts. During the school year, I work really closely with classroom teachers. This looks a little different with every teacher, but this year especially at CitySprouts, we've been really working to align our lessons with the science concepts and practices that students are already doing in the classroom. Having learning experiences in the garden really connects students to the natural world around them, and also to the idea that science is all around them. So they don't just do science in the classroom, that science can happen by them being outside and making observations and asking questions. And the hope is that this is a practice students take out of the garden with them, and so that they feel like science is exciting and accessible to them.
Hi there, my name is Janet Forte, and I am a preschool teacher here at the Peabody School. CitySprouts has been such an essential part of my bringing science curriculum and making science curriculum really accessible in my classroom. It provides just wonderful learning opportunities for kids to learn about the world around them, the natural world, to get their hands dirty, to dig, to explore, to use all of their senses in the outdoors in ways that not every child might otherwise have the opportunity to learn in this way. You know, we're in an urban school environment. Not everybody has access to gardens or even a yard. So when we come to the garden and we engage in the learning that they provide, their hands-on experiences, we're doing that by looking and smelling and touching and hearing. It's such a wonderful way to just make science learning so developmentally appropriate for these young 3- and 4-year-olds.
Hey there, everybody. My name is Neil Kleinman, and I am so excited to talk about CitySprouts. It's been a big part of my teaching life at the Moore School for many, many years, and especially this year during this remote teaching year, we've had some wonderful support from the CitySprouts garden coordinators. Science is so important for our young students. That experience, that hands-on connection through observations and planting and turning over the soil and raking the leaves and caring for the beds, searching out for creatures and critters underneath rocks and logs in the garden, harvesting food, making cider. All of that is just so experiential and so powerful for the kids. We have displays of learning through the years all around our school and our classroom. At the end of the harvest season, we've even brought in plants that are being culled from the garden. We've uprooted them, pulled them up by the stem and left the roots intact, cleaned off all the soil from in that root structure and dried them out and hung them up on bulletin boards. And we have sort of like a soil level line, show where the roots are underneath and show where the stems and the leaves and the flowers and the fruits are up above. The kids have enjoyed labeling those different parts, and it's really been pretty exciting through the years to make those displays. It's been so very fruitful to have so many opportunities to connect with so many wonderful educators through the CitySprouts program. And I really see our garden educators as colleagues that I can plan with and work with and trust. And and help pull us as educators and as learners, the kids and the teachers, in a direction that is more hands-on, is thinking outside the box, and that really helps us grow together to understand science and nature and the food cycle and all the great things that we learn in the garden. So
I think it's extremely important for children, however, not just because of the skills they learn, but because we need children to learn in this time of environmental degradation and loss of species, climate change. We need to work with children to help them appreciate or continue to appreciate the world, or the living world around them, to make them want to take care of it, to make them want to be part of it, and to help them understand their role in maintaining an environment that is so rich and so important.
Loved the video and loved hearing from such passionate educators. Such partners and partnerships at the core of just being able to have the social impact that CitySprouts is trying to have. And I think we're so grateful for having the support of two amazing school districts like Boston Public Schools and Cambridge, who value and support STEM and see the importance of focusing on STEM, even as early as kindergarten. And of course, I'd just like to mention, this work wouldn't be possible without the support of Cummings. We received a 3-year grant from the Cummings Foundation, so thank you all so much. Now, let's move on and look at other parts of what CitySprouts does, because this isn't everything. We're gonna talk about the Young Leaders Middle School program, all right? So the Young Leaders program began in 2007. It's a 5-week summer program. 650 kids have gone through this program since the beginning. But we also have clubs in East Cambridge and Nubian and Cobden Squares in Boston, where some of these students, after the summer, if they really haven't had enough of CitySprouts, they can continue through the CitySprouts clubs. So let's hear some more.
We have some key partners to thank for our Young Leaders program, Uche. That program would not be what it is today without the Agenda for Children in the city of Cambridge, and particularly the middle school network, nurturing and shaping that program, and how we really build a strong community for young people. CitySprouts is also a charter member of the BOSSTEM network in Boston, organized and hosted by United Way and Boston After School and Beyond. We're really grateful to those two partners.
All right, let's hear more about the Young Leaders program from our program director, Solomon Montagno, and some of the young folks who've been through the programs over the years.
Hello, everyone. I'm Cambridge Mayor Sambol Siddiqui. I'm really excited to virtually join you to celebrate CitySprouts and their tremendous 20-year anniversary in the city of Cambridge. Our children have a desire to learn about how the world they live in works. Why does a plant need light? How do you grow an avocado? CitySprouts brings that hands-on science learning to so many of our students through their gardens and summer programs. It's important that we feed these young minds with this important knowledge, and always make sure there's an emphasis on equity in science education. It's important that our young Cambridgians find a connection with nature in the city we live, learn, and play in. A big thank you and congratulations to CitySprouts for being this wonderful and important organization for our young, growing minds in Cambridge. Thank you.
My name is Solomon Montagno. I'm the program director here at CitySprouts. I want to tell you a little bit about our Young Leaders program. So within the Young Leaders program, we have our youth leadership team, which runs through the school year and actually into our summer. And we have our summer program, which is a 5-week experience for middle school age kids to learn more about their natural world around them. One of the greatest things that I've seen come from our summer program is just the ownership the kids take over learning these skills. They're excited to be here, they're excited to learn, and most importantly, they're excited to be outside with their friends.
Gardening is basically like every other subject. You didn't know what the plants are called, you didn't know how far seeds are apart, you didn't know how much water and how to actually grow it, how much sunlight you need. And the weather, if the weather is good or not. You need to learn more about engineering, math, everything in City Sprouts.
Not only is gardening good for your physical health, it's also good for your mental health. And as a junior in high school, it's nice to take a break from all the work I have.
I love that City Sprouts makes me feel like free a little. Like I can also get dirty for gardening, and it's really fun.
I have learned so much from City Sprouts, from gardening and cooking to urban heat and climate change. City Sprouts also helped me realize that when I grow up, I want to go into the environmental sciences.
What I've really enjoyed about my experience with City Sprouts is that I can really connect with the garden in ways that I can't do from home. I've also learned a lot about healthy eating and about climate change. I really think kids should be a part of City Sprouts because it helps you meet a lot of other people who have the same interests as you, and you really form a community. It also helps you learn about things that you may not learn in school.
Over the course of the next 3 years, we hope to see these kids through their 6th, 7th, and 8th grade years. One of the coolest things that we did this year was send home STEM kits to our kids. These kits allowed us to engage them remotely, but also allowed them to set up their own home gardens. A lot of our kids have their own gardens in windowsills or bright sunny areas around their houses where they're growing microgreens, they're growing herbs such as basil and dill and cilantro. And we're hoping all of these skills that we've embarked into them will show up in the spring. Most importantly, we just want to get kids outside, enjoying and exploring this area together.
And getting out into the gardens and nature has provided such great respite for so many people during the pandemic. Not all, because not everybody has access, and that's why City Sprouts is here, but most. And there has been learning loss, but City Sprout is ready to join hands with the partners to help kids connect back to nature.
Now more than ever, Uche, our children and young teens really need a connection to nature as well as to each other. Every child deserves a good science education right from the start. And learning about the world through the garden really levels the learning field for children. Science equity is important for our future on Earth. We at City Sprouts have a vision for what schools should be and what neighborhoods can be for children.
We want to thank all our sponsors and donors, big and little, who made this evening possible. And of course, thanks to our 2 district partners in Cambridge and Boston. You've all been amazing, and we hope that this partnership is just the beginning. And thanks to all of you for joining us this evening. It's been an amazing evening. City Sprouts really depends and runs because of you. And of course, we accept donations large and small. And if you are able, and if you're especially able, please consider supporting us and making a donation to support our programs this year.
Thank you to all of the people watching this who've supported City Sprouts with donations and with volunteer labor, by sending your children to our programs, by being real champions for City Sprouts. We really count on your support, and we hope that you'll continue to support us into this next decade as well. And help us spread the word. Children need nature and schools need gardens. Join us in making a difference. To inspire us, City Sprouts friend Kim Lowe leaves us with this wonderful video about what City Sprouts gardens grow. Thank you.